Rent is throwing money away. Buying builds wealth. Get on the ladder before you're priced out forever. You've heard all three. Let's test them. So I built the whole thing in a spreadsheet. August 2026. The median American house, the median American rent. Today's actual mortgage rate. 8 years later, which is how long the average American actually keeps a house, the buyer is worth $247,000. The renter, $301. Renting won by $64,789. Now, before anyone comments angrily, that result flips. It flips on three specific numbers, and I'll show you all three. And by the end, you'll have one calculation you can run in 30 seconds on any house, in any city, and know which side of it you're on. Almost every rent versus buy argument online is rigged, and usually not on purpose. So here are the rules I'm using. Watch them, because they're where people cheat. Rule 1. Both people start with exactly the same pile of cash. The buyer puts 20% down, $88,120, plus 3% closing costs, $13,218, $101,338, gone at the signing table. The renter has that same $101,000. He doesn't buy a house with it. He puts it in an index fund on day one. Rule 2. Same monthly budget, every single month. Whoever pays less that month invests the difference, and that goes both ways. Rule 3. At the end, we cash out for real. The buyer sells and pays 7% to do it. The renter sells shares and pays 15% capital gains tax. No fantasy exits. Start with the house. $440,600. That's the median existing home in June from the National Association of Realtors. 20% down leaves you borrowing $352,480. At 6.69%, which is Freddie Mac's average as of August 6th, here's the formula the bank actually uses. Payment equals loan times monthly rate divided by 1 minus 1 plus that rate to the negative number of months. Monthly rate is just the annual rate over 12. 6.69 divided by 12 is 0.5575% a month. Number of months is 30 years times 12. 360 payments. Plug it in. $2,272 a month. That's principal and interest. And that's the number every listing site shows you. But nobody lives in a principal and interest payment. Property tax. 0.9% of value, which is Adam's national effective rate. $330 a month. Homeowners insurance, $2,395 a year. Lending Tree's national average, $200 a month. Maintenance, 1% of the house per year. Roof, water heater, the tree that falls on your fence, $367 a month. And unlike rent, nobody else is taking that call. Total, $3,169 a month to own it. The rent on the same kind of house is $2,320. You're paying $849 a month extra for the privilege. Now here's the part that changed how I think about mortgages. Where does that $2,272 actually go? Month 1, the bank charges interest on the whole balance. $352,480 times 0.5575%. $1,965. That's rent. You're renting money instead of renting a house, which leaves $307 going to the actual loan. That's the only part that becomes yours. Over the first year, you hand the bank $27,266. $23,466 of it is interest. 86%. Your first year of homeownership is 86% interest. It does get better, very slowly. You don't pay off half the loan until year 21 and a half. Run all 360 payments, and the interest totals $465,490. You borrowed $352, you pay back $818. $1.32 of interest for every dollar you borrowed. But almost nobody keeps a mortgage for 30 years. Adam tracked everyone who sold this year. The average owner had the place 8.44 years. So let's total up 8 years of owning. Principal and interest, $218,125. Of that, $179,281 went to interest. $38,844 actually reduced your loan. Property tax over 8 years, $36,538. It rises because the house is worth more every year. Insurance, $21,297. Maintenance, $40,598. 8 years of owning, $316,558 out the door. Now the good news. The house went up 4% a year, so it's worth $602,992. Sell it and 7% evaporates. Agents, transfer taxes, the concessions the buyer demands. $42,209 gone. Subtract what you still owe the bank, $313,636, and the buyer walks away with $247,146. Same 8 years, the renter's side. Rent starts at $2,320 and rises 3% a year, because it does. Total rent paid, $249,163, all of it gone, zero equity. This is the part the internet is right about. But look at the two totals side by side. The buyer spent $316,000. The renter spent $249,000. Over the 8 years, that's $67,396 the renter didn't spend. Under our rules, he has to invest every dollar of it. The month he saves it. So his account is the $101,000 from day one, plus about $700 a month added on top. $67,000 over the 8 years. All of it growing at 10.3%. The S&P's 30-year average with dividends reinvested. That compounds into $337,206. $168,000 of it is pure growth he never worked for. Then the tax man. 15%, but only on the growth, not on the money he put in. 15% of $168,472 is $25,271. Renter walks away with $311,935. $247,000 versus $311,000. Renting wins by $64,789. And both of them spent exactly $417,896 over those 8 years. Same money in, different money out. So why did owning lose? Because most of what you pay to own a house doesn't become yours. Add it up over 8 years. Interest, $179,000. Tax, $36,500. Insurance, $21,300. Maintenance, $46,000. Selling costs, $42,200. $320,000 of pure cost, not a down payment, not equity, cost. Which kills the cliche. Renters throw money away, and sure, owners throw money away too. They just get a smaller receipt and call it an investment. And one more thing people always bring up, the mortgage interest deduction. Let's check it. Year 1 interest plus property tax is $27,431. The standard deduction for a married couple is $32,200. It's not even close. For most buyers, that famous tax break is worth exactly nothing. Now, the part where I stop making renting look free. Everything I just showed you rests on one assumption, that the renter earns 10.3%. That's the real 30-year average. It's also not a promise, so I ran it again at every return and found the exact line where owning wins. 6.56%, that's the hinge. Above it, renting wins. Below it, buying wins. At 6%, the buyer is ahead by $8,000. At 0%, ahead by $78,000. And the S&P has plenty of 8-year stretches under 6.5%. 2000 to 2008 was one of them. So the honest version is this. Renting beats buying if you actually invest the difference, and the market cooperates. 2 ifs, both on you. Which brings me to the calculation I promised. It's called price to rent, and it's the only one you need. Take the price of the house. Divide by a full year of rent on a place you'd actually be happy in. That's it. Our house, $440,600 divided by 2,320 times 12, 15.8. I ran the model at every rent level to find where owning starts winning. It's 13.4. Under 13, buy. Over 16, rent and invest the difference. In between, it's close enough that lifestyle should decide it. The national median is 15.8, which is exactly why buying loses in this episode. The median American house is expensive relative to renting it. But it's a national average, and nobody lives in a national average. Run yours. If rent on that house is $2,741 or more, Buying wins on the same math. Third lever, the rate. Get under 5% instead of 669 and buying wins. Same house, same everything else. Appreciation flips it too, but it takes 5.5% a year, every year, for 8 years. Right now, Case-Shiller's running about 1.3, and whatever you do, don't buy if you might move in 5 years. Watch this. 5 years in, you've paid the bank $136,000. $114,000 of it was interest. $21,000 actually paid down your loan. Then selling costs take $37,000 more. You spent 5 years and $150,000 to end up $48,900 behind the guy who rented. Now the argument against everything I just said, and it's a strong one. The renter in my model is a robot. He invests $67,000 over 8 years and never touches it. Real renters buy a car, take the trip, move up to a nicer place instead of investing the gap. Run that same 8 years, and the renter has 0, while the buyer has $247,000. A mortgage is a terrible investment with one great feature. You cannot skip it. It forces you to build wealth whether you feel like it or not. And the mortgage doesn't move. $2,272 a month in year 1 and $2,272 in year 30. Rent on that same house by then. $5,467. So here's the whole episode in 4 lines. 1. Rent isn't throwing money away. Interest, tax, insurance, upkeep, and selling costs came to $320,000 in 8 years. And none of it was yours either. 2. Run price to rent. Under 13, buy. Over 16, rent. And if you'd move within 5 years, don't buy at all. 3. Renting only wins if you genuinely invest the difference, month after month, and clear about 7%. If you won't, buy the house. The mortgage will save the money for you. 4. A house you love that you can comfortably afford is allowed to be worth $64,000. Just make the trade knowing the price. Next time, the car loan. Your car loses value faster than you pay the loan down, which is how people end up owing more than the car's worth. I'm Max. Don't be broke.